it was pretty damn bad.
It blew goats for quarters.
Thank you, Darth Balls.
I had to. I love that quote. If you've listened to any of our previous shows, Darth Balls has definitely said it before. I think it is an awesome quote. I have stolen it for this show only because he just told me.
It is absolutely. I mean, it's true though. It's just it was a terrible movie.
It was.
I mean, I had to go off.
And if they make a sequel to the sequel, I am out. I abort. I'll throw you back into the cesspool.
They don't have anything else to go off into the story. I mean, they went off, and my wife says, well, were there any of these characters? And it says, no, you don't understand. They used all the characters from, the actual book, Alice Through the Looking Glass, in the first movie. So there is nothing else to work with.
No, and, that's the whole thing.
And, okay, at the very beginning of the movie where she goes through, the mirror and ends up on the chessboard, that's pretty much everything that has to do with the book. There's from there they kind of go off, in a completely different direction, and
it was kind of neat to see the whole aspect of you can't change time and things like that, and how the Red Queen got such a massive head. Other than that, I'm sorry, pointless movie, never should have been made.
It could have honestly
1 star.
I can't even. I would think I went off, and I think it was generous when I went off and said on Twitter that I gave it 2.5 stars. Looking back at it, I mean, maybe I'll be generous. Maybe I'll give it 2 stars. I can't give it the dreaded half star that I think I went off and gave Fantastic Four last year. But I mean, it was really terrible, and part of the reason why I ended up going to see X-Men Apocalypse the following night, which I will tell you,
I was too busy playing Minecraft that night.
Good for you. I need to get back into that game. I really did enjoy it. Although dying at the hands of those zombies that blow up is not my idea of a fun time.
Yeah. Well, I haven't met the zombies that you so speak of because I am a smart one who uses torches. And I hide in my mountain cave.
I don't blame you there.
So, I guess this is where our part of our segment where you're going to talk about a movie that I have yet to see and I plan to see.
Okay, so last weekend...
Careful, there may be spoilers.
Oh, screw you. There's going to be
the movie's
spoilers
already spoiled as is.
Probably. Essex Score. This is all. So I went off, I saw X-Men Apocalypse.
Why do you gesture at me like that? You saw the movie.
I am very
you are
expressive.
A geek. You saw the movie. You are a geek. You should know these names.
It's, because I'm kind of worked up, and your cat is staring at me, which is kind of disturbing.
She's my guard cat.
She's not supposed to be in the studio with us.
I'm sorry. I spoil her.
Anyways, X-Men Apocalypse, which takes place, I believe it's 10 years following the Days of Future Past storyline that was done. We find Charles Xavier going off and got the school up and going. Has brought students in. Scott Summers, who eventually becomes Cyclops, arrives, and then crap starts hitting the fan because Apocalypse wakes up after being locked in.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. After being trapped in the bottom of a pyramid, which is now buried and it's been turned into some sort of carpet shop. I don't really understand, but anyways. And, so Apocalypse wakes up, forms his 4 horsemen with surprise, surprise! Magneto being, his, horseman of death, or I suppose, I don't know. And, honestly, I came in to this movie with such low standards. Like, I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. And maybe that's why I thought it was a lot better than, because I heard reviews about how this was...
It's possible you think it's better than it actually is, only because you saw Alice Through the Looking Glass the night before. You should have given that 2-day window period.
I don't know. I mean, the fact that I'm still groaning about Alice in Wonderland and still, yay, about Apocalypse, goes off and says, it's
your taste in movies.
Well, I mean, honestly, I mean, there's movies that I thought were epically good, which were epically good, and you still found reason to hate on.
I am more of a critic than you. I look at all the fine details.
And see, I just go in and I try to be a fan, and I try to leave, my preconceptions at the door and just say, screw it, entertain me.
I think preconceptions are kind of good when you're going to a movie, because if you can walk out of a movie and you're really impressed and you're really happy and you're really excited, it feels so much better knowing that you thought it was going to be crap going in. And this movie has far surpassed what your expectation was, right? I think that's exciting. I think that's very important when you go see a movie, to be able to, to have that feeling.
What do you know? But anyways, it was really good. I will tell you this, Hugh Jackman does have a cameo in this movie as Wolverine. And all I'm going to really go off and say is 2 words, Weapon X.
Fair
enough. And then at the very end of the credits, there is something going on, and it kind of hints at who the next big baddie is. And all I'll go off and I'll really say is there's one major Marvel villain or X-Men villain that we have yet to see in any of the comic book movies. And if you know who I'm talking about, you should expect him in either the final Wolverine movie, or maybe Gambit.
Which is awesome. So we're going to start wrapping up our show. This is the entertaining part of our show, which is kind of sad considering all the rest that we just went.
How do you call this the entertainment? This is the part where
promotion.
This is where we go off and we horror ourselves to all of you.
Some of us enjoy that. I enjoy this part because this is the part where our fans have the chance to reach us, to talk to us, give us their ideas, their opinions, and things like that. And we love opinions. We're very opinionated ourselves, so we definitely love hearing other people's opinions about our opinions.
Yeah, we're opinionated. I mean, come on. The fact that we talked for over half an hour about Captain, Hydra tells you about everything.
Captain Hydra. It's a thing. Hashtag it. Boom. So anyways, you follow us on Twitter. Myself, you can follow me at RealCaptFizz. So at Real Captain Fizz.
You can follow me at that mask guy. Follow the show at Fizz Mask Show. And you can go off and go to our website and you'll be able to see our first 50 some odd episodes of the podcast, as well as links to our Facebook and all 3 of our Twitter accounts. Yep. So again, that's www.fizzmaskshow.com. And you go there and realize that you have been polluted, and you have now joined the world of Instagram.
Yes, I am on Instagram. I definitely put a lot of pictures on there. We're going to start promoting the show more, basically self-promotion. So you can follow me on Instagram, CAPT_Fizz. I put lots of this. It's very Harley Quinn heavy. So if you are a Harley Quinn fan, I definitely recommend checking it out. I do put a lot of other comics on there as well. A little selfies for me every now and then, especially if I'm wearing my comic book t-shirts, which I have many, and there will be more to come. We try to attend a lot of events going on. We got Icon coming up in July. We'll have a Swords and Sabers coming up in June, which is actually June 11th. I will be front and center there as well.
There's a Harry Potter event that's happening at the Assiniboine Park here in Winnipeg as well at the end of June, I believe it is.
June 31st, I believe it is.
There's only 30 days in June.
So I think it's July 31st. Then.
Okay.
I'm also going to be taking part in the Manitoba Marathon this year. We're going to have our Captain Fizz and Mask Guy team out there with us. Definitely, promoting the show. 3 of us will actually be taking part in the marathon as well with our shirts. Definitely, if you see us, take pictures, run and say hi, things like that. There's going to be lots coming and going over the next, few months, definitely. And then, of course, the big event, October.
Yeah, October, of course, will be Comic-Con C4 here in Winnipeg. So, things are very exciting for us. You know what? Once again, big thanks to I think his name is Jacques, who we talked with last week from Icon. I just thank you once again for coming on our show last week. I mean, yeah, it was really a big moment I think for our podcast. So you know what, guys, it is time for us to wrap this up.
Well, one more thing. We're also going to try to set up a new event that we're actually putting on ourselves. Something I'm kind of toying with. Walking with the Geeks, which is basically you get out and about through the city, Cinema Park, things like that. We'll set up different, times and places. You get to, basically walk and talk the world of geek with other, geeks as well. Very unique aspect that I'm trying to get up and running. So if you're definitely interested in that, you gotta, send us a message on Twitter, on Facebook, or you can email me.
Set this up, guys. I mean, most of the people who listen into our show aren't from the Winnipeg area, so
I don't care. I still gotta mention it.
Set this up in your city. Go off and take pictures, post it on our Facebook account, tag us in them, send them to Instagram, with the captain, or I think the show does have Instagram account, but we haven't used it since Comic-Con.
Yes.
So maybe
mine's more relevant, more up to date. Post
so,
most
but
days.
I mean, give us these. Post them to his Instagram. Post this. Tag. Ask Captain Fizz at that mask guy at Fizz Mask Show on Twitter. And show us you guys. Show us your geek. I mean, and this is not just because. Of being geeks. This is about trying to help people get in shape, like myself, who I'll be the first to admit I'm well over 200 pounds and would like to get closer to 200 if possible. So I mean, this is for probably the best cause of all, and that's to get our butts in shape here. So
and you get to have fun. You get to talk comic books, TV shows, things like that. There is definitely a very unique aspect. Don't forget to check out our store as well. It'll be posted on our website in the next coming days. Pick up some Captain Fizz and Mask Guy t-shirts, hats, coffee mugs.
Merchandising.
And definitely, if you buy some, take some pictures in it. We'd love to see our fans wearing us.
Yeah, one of our young fans, had a picture posted on his dad's Facebook page, because we don't want to go off into.
He's actually the new face of our merchandise.
He's the new face of our merchandising. Awesome. I was going to go off and say because he's a child, and we want to respect his parents' wishes by not having him all over the place on our Facebook page and everything.
We have signed that contract. He is now the face of our merchandise. So it won't just be the shirts anymore. You'll actually see a very smiling pain in the butt.
Yeah, well, he is a pain in the butt, but that's why we love him. So, guys, thank you once for listening. For all those people who are on, Captain Fizz's chat site, thank you for going off and giving your input. And you know what?
Input is good.
Input is good. So, and in the meantime, and in between time, good night, God bless, and hail Hydra.
And as always, stay frosty, my people, and don't forget,
Hail Hydra!
Good night!